People of Quora, what is the craziest paranormal experience you've had? The Haunted People Tree and the Three Witches. This story was told to us group of friends by one of our weird classmates. Let's call him S. He is a spooky guy, very lean, seems malnourished, wears big glasses and laughs hysterically on petty things. He always took advantage of his creepy personality and used to tell us weird stuff and whatnot during school days. So we were staying in Coda for our IIT prep, and one night, when all of us were chilling in his room, he started this story. Back in the 90s, Sarab and his family lived in their native village. His father is a government official, and he used to travel to the city daily on his bike. One fine winter day, his father got late in Batol due to some work, and it was already dark while he was returning. It must be around 10 p.m. when he started from the city. Now, as he reached the outskirts of the village, his bike broke and wouldn't start. His house was still a good 2 to 3 kilometers away, and there was no means to send communication or for any help, since life in villages during those times would come to a halt around 9 to 10 p.m. He had no option but to drag his bike all the way to his home, and he started on it. He could see the distant lights from the village, but it was still far. Just outside the village, there was a peepal tree which was a really old and haunted tree, as per the locals. People were not supposed to be around it after sunset. The tree was located at a distance from the main road path, around 100 to 200 feet in the middle of a deserted farmland. There was no life form around it. Apparently, the farm owners had abandoned the land due to infertile soil, which was shocking as all farms around that area were okay. He reached to a point from where the tree was visible at a distance, nothing abnormal about it. It was dark anyway, so I assume only the shape would have been visible. As he was walking past it, he felt that even after walking for quite some time, he is still at the same place. He looked towards the tree, and now, instead of complete darkness, the shape was surrounded by dim light without any light source, and something similar to an aura surrounded the tree branches. And the tree felt coming closer and closer with each passing minute. He left the bike there and ran for his life, shivering in fear, didn't look back once. As soon as he reached the entrance of the village, there was obviously a small Hanuman temple. He felt relieved with the temple in sight and looked back. There was nothing but emptiness. He moved ahead and then had to pass a T-junction. But as he reached there, he saw 3 creepy-looking old women sitting at the entrances of 3 streets, staring down the men with absolutely no expressions. They didn't look familiar or from the village. His soul almost left his body at that point. He remembered that he should not be making eye contacts with any of them, else they would hypnotize him into the dark world. He slowly took the street that leads to his house and never looked back, reached his house and knocked on the door. His wife opened the door, and he didn't utter a single word, just fell straight down on his bed. He was reportedly in high fever for a week, and no medicine worked on him. He complained on a feeling of being watched all the time till they lived there, and soon moved to the city. Gladly, all is well as on today, but I suspect S is still possessed to this day, and there is more to it than we know. The Sleep Paralysis Visitor. I work in night shift. I hate being disturbed during daytime. I told her to lock the door from outside so that I can sleep without being disturbed. I really had sound sleep for an hour, but I awoke due to some noise. Someone or something was walking around my bed. I knew that there is no one home except myself. I could hear footsteps. Let's have a look around, I thought. I was unable to move my body. I could hear someone walking around me. At some point, it sat on the bed. I could feel that mattress was pressed. I wanted to turn my back. I was dying to see what it is, but my body refused to follow my orders. I could hear, I could smell, I could see, I could feel touch, but why wasn't I able to move my body? Now someone started scratching my pillow as I was sleeping on the side, and my ear was pressed on the pillow. It was scratching the pillow and whispering something. Why the hell can't I turn around? Now was that whispering right in my ears. I felt that warm breath. No matter how hard I tried, but my body refused to move an inch. It went on for creepy 10 minutes. Then I heard my door was being unlocked. It all stopped. Soon, my wife entered in the bedroom. I turned around to see her, complaining that why I made the floor dirty by dusty footprints. Dirty footprints left marks all over the room. The lady in red at Kitrilem Falls. I encountered this incident in my childhood in a place called Kitrilem in Tirunelveli district, Tamil Nadu. The time was around 6:30 p.m., and it was pretty dark. I was with my cousin, walking from falls which are located deep inside a forest, nearly 400 meters, a one-way path. There was no one in 100 meters both front and at back of us. A few minutes of walking down that forest, we saw a very old lady wearing red sari with very large red bindi walk towards us. It was the time when the officials don't allow anyone to enter the falls anymore. She just stared at me and was walking towards me. I got a feeling of being offended by woman's look at me. When she was just crossing me, she stopped and held my hand from nowhere and asked what the time was. But I really didn't have a watch with me, so my cousin answered that it was 6:30 p.m. But yet she stood still and was staring at me. My cousin repeated the time again, and she was still staring at me. I pulled my hand back and repeated that it was 6:30 p.m. She thanked me politely and walked past me. Then I was discussing with my cousin about the odd behavior of lady. After 1 minute maybe, I turned back to have a glance at the lady, but my heart nearly stopped when I didn't find her. I just froze for a moment, and I was like, there was no way that old woman could have gone, as it's a one-way path and it was fenced on both sides. She seemed literally too weak to break the fence. My cousin by then realized that it was something paranormal. We just ran our way to parking until we met our parents. The ghost hitchhiker in the pink top. It so happened that I, with my 4 friends, were going to Chandigarh from Manali. The hotel reservation was complete, and we decided to drive through the night to be able to check in early morning. We were nearing Chandigarh border at around 3 in the night and were on a mountain road, turns and bends. Suddenly we noticed a white Kerala Altis parked on the cliff side of the road, parking lights and blinkers on, and a girl next to her in a pretty pink top and jeans calling for lift from us. There began murmurs in the car whether to give her a ride, about if we should stop and help her or not. 3 were in favor, 1 was strongly against, saying he has some bad feeling and all. I slowed the car near her and pulled down the mirror, when my friend shouted, "Drive bro, don't stop." I pushed the accelerator without thinking again. As we crossed her, the car got filled with some strong rosy fragrance she was wearing. We had come around 3 to 4 kilometers ahead, when there started a debate in the car that we shouldn't leave a girl alone like that. We should help, all ethics and moral talks. I was thinking about taking a U-turn, just when I saw something at some distance ahead. As we neared it, we saw it was the same car, same girl, same pink top and jeans calling for lift. We were white with fear. I just raced the car like anything. Nobody said anything for the rest of the journey. We passed the car and girl 3 times. Finally, we entered Chandigarh and stopped at the first dhaba. We were still realizing what had happened, and I ordered beer as we all began splashing large amount of water on our faces and head. The truck driver sitting there asked what the matter was, and we told them. They showed us the Punjab Kesari, a famous newspaper there, which had a news item reporting how a Delhi-based 21-year-old woman had an accident and her car went down the cliff. The car and the girl were the same. The grave that called us. It's not a case of no one believes, it's a case I rarely tell it. A few years ago, my wife and I went to a cemetery to look for a great-aunt who died when she was only 5. I called out somewhat jokingly, saying we were looking for a great-aunt by her name. A short time later, I felt my right hand tingling and a sense of being drawn to a specific part of the cemetery. Now the tingling could be a simple case of the heebie-jeebies, but the direction. I never visited that cemetery before, and I never looked up the cemeteries. So it was either one hell of a coincidence or my wife's great-aunt brought us to her grave. The woman at the well. I was traveling to Haridwar with family when I was still in my 10th grade. We were on the highway, and everywhere on the left and right were farms and farms. One particular farm had a well in center of a wide open field. A woman sat on the edge of well and was combing her hair. I found it super weird and turned to my mom to tell her to look at the weird lady. The moment me and my mom turned towards well, poof, she was gone. Either she fell in the well, or she ran like 500 m in 3 seconds. As a believer in ghosts, I was creeped as hell on the whole journey.